How do we get our congregations to get outside the walls of their own building?
I think part of our goal, and I mean, Ronnie would, I'll let him answer as well, but I think part of our goal as worship leaders is to encourage all people to worship. So we had to sometimes get creative in the way that we approach this, and like I said, I try to choose songs that have the gospel within them, but there are a lot of other songs, particularly in the Salvation Army tradition, where we can be mission-minded in the songs that we choose. There's songs that speak about going out and reaching the lost and saving them and bringing the whole world to Christ. Just in the songs that we sing, we encourage our own people, our own congregations, to think missionally, to think outside the walls, to think how can we take the gospel, take the message of Jesus Christ out of this place into my community, into my spheres of influence, and ultimately make an impact for the kingdom.
Sure.
I think that the model that has been put in place is still viable. I think it still works. I just think that it needs to be revamped when we talk about open airs, when we talk about, there, a lot of evangelism now up in Chicago where they're doing, what was his name, Kanye West having church in a park or what have you, and people come in droves.
Yeah.
And if you think of Salvation Army and its origins, this was what we were doing originally. This is what the church was doing, and it's not a brand new concept. It's just a matter of having the, I don't want to say the goal, but just the innate ability to remember, almost to say remember who you are. Not necessarily remember the way you did it, but remember who you are as a soldier, in the army of the Lord. You got a battle to fight, and you have to literally go maybe into the enemy's territory, or your own territory has been overthrown, and we don't even realize that, you know what I mean? Because we've become so comfortable. But we have to maybe create a different view or a different optic of how we approach it. I think we've become comfortable, and as long as we can kind of get past it, we're all right. But as far as mission and evangelism through worship and ministry, most people are going to be drawn to that. I've seen it personally, where you can go out, and just singing, and no matter what it is, as long as God has anointed you and you are really operating in that office, people are going to come. I mean, in a matter of 6 months, you'd see people just at your church. You need to have people there to help. I think that's where local officers and all types of support would be great, because then you'd have people coming in that you need to help, pastor and shepherd and send them in the right direction. But I think we need to be proactive, I guess, instead of reactive to the times, and really become, get out there. I mean, literally, if we had to more or less do revivals, nationwide, whatever it would take. I'm just saying within our own ministries, within their own families and church. And then as it goes outside, we're just really having service. We're not even, bothering people, or not bothering, but, chasing after them. I really believe that people would come as we walk down the streets, or whether we were in the park, we were in our parking lots. All the Salvation Armies, whether they got small parking lots or big, it doesn't make a difference. Even if you were just right outside the church, but with the right fervor and the right, like the fire of God, people walking down the street. I mean, that's the original story of people who were either intoxicated or drunk or whatever they were. They would go and clean them up and say, come on, and here's a drum, or here, whatever the deal might be. In today's time, you don't even have to do that kind of thing. You can literally go down the street or set up somewhere and start playing and singing and ministering, and people, come and say, hey, well, where's your church? That's the first thing they say. Even if they're at a church or if they belong somewhere else, they'll say, well, what church you go to?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're going to want to come in fellowship. I just believe we need to have that level or that kind of initiative and not be afraid of it, and it's going to cost us.